Hello, in this video we're going to look closer on new panning inside MidJourney. We're going to look how to best use this command, what we need modify in a prompt to take best advantage, as well on some new resolution increase inside the MidJourney, which give it our back our 2048 pixels, which wasn't announced that openly, but it is now. We have much higher resolution images we can create it with panning. So in this videos I'm going to look on all these options. First, what we want to do is be sure we have correct settings applied in MidJourney. For this we type / and type settings. As settings is opening, let's verify what we have. You notice right here we select version 5.2. It's what we want to have it. Also, in my case, it's the stylization medium. You can change this, but I preferred. Important part for us is be sure this remix mode is enabled. This has allowed us to adjust some of the settings when we're going pan left and right. As well, it's enable high variation mode. You can switch to the low variation, but this way is giving you more flexibility to choose different angles. If you want to keep it very same to specific image, you probably want switch. As well, when we start working with photography, we probably want to keep it low variation mode on to have it consistent with our original image. Also, you notice below we have it new additions was add turbo mode, which is a cost you twice speed. Currently, I'm working on a fast mode, but I noticed no different if you work on the relaxed mode. It will be just sometimes a little bit slower, but you still can create all of this stuff. Additional options was added, and it's not displayed here. It's add kind of more weird mode. Personally, I will show you how it's worked, but I did not find it's very useful. To create image, we start with the imagine as usual, and now we can pass in prompt. I found that panning work very well with city landscapes, some cityscapes, and sometimes creating quite a bit mix up if we're using the people in our scenery. First, let's go ahead and look how they work in a perfect settings. So right here we have it cyberpunk city, old streets, narrow path, old stores, where wired garbage, all this kind of set up our environmental, and I'm going to create a square. Okay, let's look closer at what we have it, and we have very nice streets. We can use any one of them. I'm going probably just upscale one on the bottom left. This one, it's upscale 3, and then you'll notice different. Before upscale, we have it our standard way. We have it upscale options, optional rerun, and variations. After we upscale, now we have it additional options. Zoom, as we know before, we can zoom in and out. As well, we have those arrows that allowed us to pan or expand scenery in specific area. Before we do this, let's go ahead, open this image in browser and look on the sizes. And if we look on the image, it's 1024 by 1024, so it's a standard image at this time. Now we can go ahead and expand this image. One thing before you expand it, be sure you're going in right direction, because you can go left and right, or you can go up and down. You can after mix it and go again left or right, but if you're going up and down, you cannot going sideways. So this is only going at the beginning. You can choose directions, but after you must keep it this direction or reverse directions. Well, let's get a little bit simple when I will show. For example, let's go ahead and we're going to expand to our left. Notice when I click, it's come up our prompt, because we ask for the remix where we can modify if we need it. Right now I will leave as default, and I'll show you when we want to this modify, mostly when we start working with the portraits. And just example, let's going one up, we'll go same, and we'll create one more going down. As it render, we kind of can see preview and peek how it's work. Notice right here, it is a reading half of our image, so it's reading this half, and now it will panning for about another half of the image, because this is square 1024. If we look on the next how it will expand, it should give it expand about half of this, about 512 pixels more expanding to the side. Even its preview showing us half, not all the way. When it will be rendered, it will add this segment that we're missing here. Same happening when we're going up or down. As render completed, we can click and preview. Notice where is extend this way. Now we can select it one that like it. I do like it left bottom because we have it kind of interesting lights. I'm going ahead and upscale version 3. We do not have it any control before we upscaling. We also have it other one vertical. So let's go ahead and same upscale this one vertical. And for this, we maybe, let's select this one. Top right, it's a U2. If you're not familiar, it's going 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have it upscale number 2. Because upscale already happening, we'll just retrieving this file. It should be pop up very fast. Notice now image is appear and we have it only 2 arrows left and right. And this is the reason because we already select our direction. We can continue going to the left more, or we can select and going to the right expand. For the reason that I want to show you what's happening when we don't change our prompt, we'll going a little bit more left again without changing any prompt. Let's do the same for this image as well. Now we have another image right here created, and remember this one we went down, and we can preview right here. It says pan down. Okay, so we can go try one more time. For this, I'm going to select top number 1, and we're going to upscale this. Okay, upscale is done. Let's go ahead again. We're going to keep on going down without modifying any string. Okay, so right here we expand a little bit more. Let's go ahead and upscale one more time and preview. Actually, before, sometimes browser may not showing the right size. For this reason, I would recommend for you going to your MidJourney app place, and if you click on an image right here below, it will show a little bit more correct size. Because I find sometimes it does showing correct, but sometimes it's scale based on the resolution of your screen. So let's go right there. You can see it is still 1024, and it is give it us expanding a little bit on the side. So same if we look on the top right there, you can see it's 1024 by 1536. So it does give it this increasing. So we're going to increase a little bit more, and if we look on the size increase in this case, you'll notice we have it now. After twice going panning, we now reach size of 2048 by 1024. If we're going more, we will increase some of the size, but we'll start paying with the prices. So let's go ahead and see how the MidJourney will handle that. Okay, right here we have some image, upscale. This is quite a bit longer one. We'll have it twice, so we're going ahead and upscale one of them. As well, let's look on this long one, and we're going to again upscale a little bit more without changing our prompt, even more to the left, and we have it one more. And this one is actually perfect example. Let me upscale one image right here, and I'll show you what's happening here. If we look on this upscale image, you'll notice it is cutting, and we have it another street below, and it's recently happening because we did not modify our command line, our prompt. So this is what's happened, kind of extended street, but it based it from little bit image above, so it does not have it information or content was have it on the top. This way, when we expanding in the directions, like for example ground or sideways, this is what will happen to us. Let's try modify a little bit. Right here is image, what is happening when we're done. So we'll click again down, but now instead this we can modify our string what we want to do. In this case, we can just write a rainy street. Okay, so for example, I'm going to change. I don't want Cyber City. I want to say wet street pavement, neon lights reflection, wet rods. We'll just add some a little bit more character to this. In a puddle, empty can soda, broken robot parts. So let's go ahead and submit this. Okay, till it's rendered, we're going a little bit more horizontal. You'll notice some panning will work better one direction or another. In this case, if we look, the panning left and right horizontal usually work a little bit better. It does not break our perspective or horizontal line. And while those elements is rendering, let's check our sizes. So I'm going and click on this very long one. Okay. And if we scroll down now on the sizes, you can notice it is past 2024. It's a bigger, but it's also still hold at 1024 for us. So we're going to increase a little bit more and compare sizes. Remember, original size was 2048 by 2048. I think it was in MidJourney 3 when you can upscale, and I'm sure they will hold it about the same sizes based on the resolutions in this case. Okay, I think our routes is done. Let's preview, and you notice how it's changed already. Look, we don't have a broken street. We add additional elements to this, and let's go ahead and just upscale a couple of them so we can preview. This way you can actually create nice scenery by changing those elements. Okay, and right here we have another example. I'm going to probably upscale version 2 so we can preview this. And here's our rod sitting on a street, wet pavement. So it does add some kind of interesting look if you want to create surreal, but you also notice that you need to modify if you're breaking your horizontal line in this case. And now we have it even more increased, and notice what's happening. We have our street going, and right here it's continue another street, so it's become like a corner in this case. And this is because we write this street. When it does not see it, it will try to render a street, and usually it's what will happen. You'll have it corner in a way, which is still be not bad looking, but just keep in mind, if you're increasing this way without changing prompt, you will create something more. And this has become more problematic when you work with the portraits. Okay, and now let's go ahead and click on this image and review our resolution at this moment. And you can see we have it 3072 by 1020. It still be incredible amount of resolution. I think it's almost 2024 now by this. Let's now look on someone creating portraits, so we'll see what's going on. Right here, example, big fatty hair, oiled weekly. It's just like me, man. So we're going to create one, and we'll just upscale one of the image. And this time we're going to expand. Let's go ahead and expand maybe to the right. We'll expand also down below, and we'll leave it exactly same prompt, and maybe one to the right. So we have left, right, and down. And as a render begin, you can already see what's happening. We start adding another portrait because we're expanding, and our prompt is exactly the same. So it's meaning if we modify, we want to be sure we remove the man or other things with creepy, and we want to rework a little bit on this. So for example, we can specify what it is, Rembrandt lighting. So just kind of like this, we need modify it, so we remove the variable of the another man inside. And if we look right here, so it's render, you can see we do have like split screen, and we just have another old person there. The AI a little bit smarter when it's going up and down, because if we can look on this, you can see right here it did create properly. And of course we can go ahead, extend it a little bit more down, and maybe create a little bit more. So let's go ahead and create this one down. Let's go ahead and click submit, and we'll just leave it same, because in some cases it may add additional face if it does not recognize on the top. So let's other things keep it in mind. If we go ahead and click zoom at this time when we already expand our image, it will take on a zoom out, but it will restore back to our square, and it's a reduced resolution to 1024 by 1024. So if for some reason you decide to zoom out, you will lose some of this high resolution that you already created. Okay, so right here also let's look. This is another one, was with a man. When we pan to the right, you notice another face, and when we modify, we have it all the room. The guy, you can see right here, we do have it somewhat more to the old room, add a little bit to the end, so it's become a little bit more interesting, but we retain single portrait of the person. And of course, when we expand down, some of them will perform good and some have very weird face down below. So it is important to modify string or prompt when we start panning left and right. So leaving the same prompt may not lead it to exactly the same result as you wanted. And it's more important to do this when you work with the portraits. Okay, so let's go ahead and verify sizes. This is our zoom out, and you can see it does gone to 1024 by 1024. So it did restore it. And otherwise, when we have it just expanded, it is actually going to 1048. So we do lose some of that resolution. But the best parts about panning also that you can use it actually photos to extend and create other things. So let's go ahead and download it one photo. For this, you want to go click plus and click on upload file. And I'm going to upload a picture of myself from photo shoot right here. We're going to click on this image, right click, and says copy image address. Next, we're going to imagine, and let's go tape rococo. Actually, I want to paste my image, of course. Next, just rococo. It's all. I don't want to do too much style. This way, I don't need to put it what I see. Of course, if you want precisely description, remember you have a new cool command called describe. So let's go ahead, click describe and put image here. That way you actually can go and let's go ahead and render it. Okay, right there. Then we have a precisely description that we can use it to describe what we have on the scenery. Otherwise, we may end up with kind of very funny image. Let's go copy this. What I want to do here, we'll just copy. Let's go ahead, press imagine again, but at this time I'm putting IW. It is a weight for the image, and we set to the 2, so we have a very high weight on the image. Be sure we get closer. Without this, we have it somewhat portraits applied. Also, remember at the beginning, I kind of tell you I have it my high variation mode. So you can switch to low variation by toggle here or by the options. And then if we're creating this way, rococo, and we have it image weight say to 2, that will produce even closer to the original image. Okay, so let's go ahead, look what we have. This is with higher variations, and you can see change color, add kind of flowers in the middle, and this one have it a little bit more constrained, more to what we have it in our original photos, with a face somewhat similar. Okay, what I'm going to do is just use it some of those. Let's go ahead, number 4, and right here maybe we're going with number 1 upscale, and we have it already 1 upscale, so we can play and modify. So if we're going to expand this maybe left or right, you'll notice we have a reference to original image or portion to this. We can try to copy and paste other image as well, and it should actually reference to about same things. Or we can also create same way. Let's go ahead, paste here, and except we also can say image weight 2, so we have it even more. Okay, our image is rendered, and what I want to do is just going, this one will go down below with the same, so you can notice How's it going? Notice image weight still be there, which kind of very nice. It's showing for us here. And let's go this same will go down below. MidJourney by default, if you don't specify anything, will be prompt to create a female character, Caucasian female character. And that's what we will notice right here, because if we have a just simple rococo without any specification, you'll notice we'll start creating some females figures by default. Okay, let's go ahead and preview what we have in this. And can you notice right here, this is kind of okay, but we have a female figure here. A little bit more kind of come up Sam. If we look on this image right here, we start having, so it is kind of showing more necessity of the modify your prompt when you're panning left or right. And right here when we get down, of course, because we don't have it personally, it will actually process a little bit better panning up and down. And you can see right here we have it, no other faces, just nice extend on the floor. Same things with this. It's actually done very good job by extending. Of course, we can go and upscale a couple of them. And next what I want to do, go up. And of course, we can go up and down. And this is kind of nice about this. We cannot really change directions. We could, in some cases, if we make square, so we can go back to 1024 by 1004. And then we can go left and right on this as well. So let's go ahead, expand up as well. And here's our image. When we expand up and down, it's actually did a very good job. And this is what I like when you work with photography. You can actually create as prototype photo with higher weight on an image, and after you can expand your scenery. We can also use this scenery to overlay inside the Photoshop with in the compositing mode. And right here, one more idea for you. Of course, the panning is a great tool if you approach as creative. For example, right here you can see it's creating one, and I start with just simple as the winter. Next we have it spring, summer, and fall, and you just change about after every 2 renders. And I found out as a tip, this is work best because you have it 1024. So your next segment, again, you want to do it like 1024, and next same 1024. So if it's going 512 each time, you need to run like twice. So it's winter, next spring, another spring, then 2 summers and 2 falls in this case. And you can notice is our resolution, of course, is quite a bit high. So this is just a suggestions how to use it creative panning in a new MidJourney. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully these tips give you more inspiration to create your own art. If you like this video, please share, subscribe. Thank you again for all your support. Have a great day.